Thank you, Sharon. Good morning, Synod. It's very good to see you. It's my pleasure and privilege as ever to present my annual report on the work of the DBE. If we might have the next slide, please. Just a reminder of our vision. We are all about promoting a Christian vision for schools in which all pupils and adults can grow and flourish. And of course, we're all about excellence when it comes to the teaching of RE and collective worship. And we have four main priorities, and they are these. They're all about ensuring we've got the most effective head teachers and schools, all about ensuring we're resourcing and equipping church schools on RE and collective worship, supporting our clergy and schools and governors to ensure church school distinctiveness, and developing really strong links between church and school. So that's our four key areas. I hope you've had a chance to read my report. Thank you to those who've already kindly commented. Just thought I'd remind you of our smiley faces. We're a small team, a number of part-time members, and we're particularly sorry this year to lose Gemma Taylor, our very effective Diocesan Schools advisor, but we're delighted equally that it was in order for her to gain her first headship at Nacton Church of England Primary. So that's the team. If we look at the schools themselves, we've got 87 schools. It's about a quarter of the 320 across Suffolk. And now we've reached the tipping point of just over half of our church schools are now academies. Everyone likes a map. I thought you might just like to see the map of those which are academies and the various church school academies to which they belong. We are very conscious of being measured by Ofsted for our effectiveness, and I'm delighted to report that at the end of last year we are at 92% of our schools have been judged either good or even better, outstanding by Ofsted. And the same applies, the next slide, to our SIAMS results. This is a different type of inspection regime, but church schools similarly sitting at 92%. The inspection framework changed, so it's now slightly different, but effectively the same very high rating for SIAMS. Much of our work is ongoing. It's the bread and butter of what we do. We're about equipping, training, resourcing, encouraging, and walking alongside our schools. And there's a huge amount of training and resources that we're pleased to provide. Well-being continues to be an area of focus for us as times are challenging for our head teachers. And we have an important role in collaborating on all things educational across Suffolk and working really closely with our fellow dioceses nationally, which is a great joy. Some particular areas of work last year included developing our capacity for further academisation. Of course, we're now in a pre-election period, so a little bit of uncertainty about how academy strategy might look, but important for me to make sure there are enough good homes, as I put it, for church schools should they need to academise. And you'll see that there have been movements on two fronts to give us some further capacity. Done a lot around the RE agreed syllabus. We've managed to sell the St James's site, the former middle school site here in Bury St Edmunds. And what's been a real joy, I think, is helping schools develop that theologically rooted Christian vision for their schools. Courageous advocacy and the joy of working with Christian Aid has been a key theme. And I'll just show you a couple of slides of the sort of resources that we provide. We're very keen on Padlets, on giving easily accessible online training as well as in-person visits to schools and training, and a couple of photos too of work that's gone in schools. There's some beautiful displays in schools. Here's some from Stonham Aspel, absolutely beautiful, and similarly from Honington and from Bedfield. So I always feel I have a duty and a joy to inform you at these annual reports, but I hope also to encourage you about the amazing work that goes on in so many of our schools. It always feels like a long time since the end of the last calendar year, so just a little bit of an update on what's happening in 2024. There are so many issues that face schools. I think funding is probably continuing to be a really challenging area for schools. Meeting the needs as well as we can of pupils with special needs is an issue nationally. Attendance still not back to where it was pre-COVID. A sort of demographic change nationally which impacts us here too in Suffolk about falling roles, and an ongoing one to watch, I think, staff recruitment and retention. And that's linked, of course, to workload and well-being. And for all of us, really ensuring that we've got the most effective governance we can. Finally, from me, before I take a few questions, I hope, a thank you, as always. Thank you to schools, first and foremost. Thank you to my team for all the work that they do. Thank you for all of you here today, for many of you who serve as governors, who visit schools, who offer pastoral support, who lead assemblies. It is so appreciated and very much valued. And thank you to members of the DBE, and as this will be the last chance for me to say this in Synod, a particular heartfelt thank you to Bishop Mike, who has so ably chaired the DBE and put up with meeting with me on a regular basis to talk about education. It's been an absolute joy to work with you, and I'm immensely grateful for your support.